Hey everyone, so you clicked on this video because you're interested in figuring out how to calculate the determinant of a matrix. Well, in this video, I'll show you how to do that for a 2x2 matrix and a 3x3 matrix. Now, if you don't know the basics of matrices like adding, subtracting, or multiplying matrices, then maybe click the link of the videos up here, watch those videos, and then you can come back and watch these videos. Now, if you already know how to add, multiply, maybe even how to find the determinant, and you're looking to figure out how to find the inverse of a matrix, then click on this other link up here to find out how you can calculate the inverse of a matrix. Now, if you know all of those basics and you're looking to see how can I apply that to word problems, then click on this link up here where you can watch a video where I go through some word problems and how to apply matrices in solving those word problems. Now, if this is your first time coming to my channel, my name is Peter. I make math tutorial videos on different math topics. These videos take a long time to produce, to make, so please consider subscribing to the channel, liking this video, and sharing the video with somebody who would find this content helpful. With that said, grab your calculator and let's get started. So let's start off by looking at what's the definition of a determinant when you're working with matrices. The determinant is the value or number calculated using a square matrix. So when you're doing this, you need a square matrix. If you forgot what a square matrix is, a square matrix has the same number of rows as columns. Therefore, if you have a matrix that is 2x2, 3x3, 4x4, 10x10, as long as the rows and columns are the same, then you're going to be able to calculate the determinant. What's the purpose of a determinant? Well, there are three that I'm going to share with you, three purposes. The first one is to find the inverse of a matrix. Number two, whenever you want to solve a system of linear equations, you need to be able to find the determinant and then be able to solve that system. Number three, part of calculus operations. If you're doing advanced math, using the determinant is going to be really, really important. So how do you calculate the determinant? Well, I'm going to break down the algorithm or the process into these three steps, and then we'll do some examples just to make sure that the concept is well understood. So number one, multiply the diagonal values, specifically the top left and the bottom right values. Next, multiply the diagonal values which are in the bottom left position and the top right position. Once you get those two products, you're going to subtract them. When you look at those three steps that I showed you, it's not quite clear. So let's take a look at this general example how to apply those three steps. So the first thing is, this is a square matrix, and I know this because the number of rows and the number of columns are the same. And this matrix, we can call it A. The next thing is, how do we indicate that we're about to calculate the determinant? So we normally use these two vertical lines, the same two vertical lines that you would use when you want to show the absolute value. Another way that we indicate that it's a determinant, we can use the words DET, the letters DET parentheses A. This also indicates that you're about to calculate the determinant. So these two methods are ways that we indicate that we're about to calculate the determinant. The actual calculation goes like this. We're going to multiply A times D, the top left value times the bottom right value, minus the bottom left value times the top right value. Once you get those products, you subtract them. Some textbooks, some teachers will indicate this process using a cross like this. So now let's actually find the determinant using some numbers. So here are three questions that we're going to use to calculate the determinant. So in the first question, we can see that it's a square matrix, and we need to figure out the determinant by using the steps that I showed you a few seconds ago. So the first thing is, we're going to write determinant, DET. This indicates that we're about to calculate the determinant. And then we're going to multiply the two diagonal numbers, 0 and -2. So 0 times -2, and then we're going to multiply -6 times -4, and I'm using that red line to indicate that multiplication. So 0 times -2 is 0. And then I'm going to subtract -6 times -4 is +24. So I'm going to write 24 there equals to, so 0 minus 24 equals to -24. The second question, the process is the same. We're going to write determinant, indicating that we're about to calculate the determinant. And then I'm going to multiply -1 times 4. Those two numbers are diagonal. Top left times bottom right, and that is -4 minus, and then I'm going to multiply the bottom left times the top right. -1 times +1 is -1, so I'm going to put that in parentheses, equals to -4 minus -1, so the two negative signs combine to make a plus sign, and the answer is -3. In the final question, you can pause the video, try the question, and then unpause the video to see if your answer matches mine. If you tried the question, the first thing is to write determinant equals to, we're going to multiply 5 times 6, and that equals to 30. Put a minus sign because we always subtract, we never add the two values, the two products. 6 times 3 is 18, so 30 minus 18 equals to +12. The next part of our video, we're going to look at how do we find the determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix. 3 by 3 matrices are going to be a little bit more challenging, but it gets more interesting. Here is a general format. Here's a general way of thinking about how to find the determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix. The thing that you need to think about is finding the determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix is finding the determinant inside another determinant. So let's see how this is going to work. So A is the top leftmost value that is going to be multiplied by the determinant of a smaller 2 by 2 matrix, EFHI. So we're going to multiply A times the determinant of that matrix, and then we take B, which is the top middle value, times a smaller matrix, DFGI, and B is going to be negative. And then plus, we take C, which is the top rightmost value, times a smaller matrix, DEGH, and then we're going to add it to that product there. So we're going to find each determinant and multiply by its coefficient. So A, negative B, and C are like coefficients. So let's go through this step by step. So we're going to have A, parentheses, you need to multiply E times I, and then minus H times F. That will give you the first value there. And then we need to subtract minus B times D times I minus G times F. So we're doing the same thing here like we did with a 2 by 2 matrix. It's just that we're going to do this process several times. And then finally, plus C, parentheses, D times H minus G times E. So once you simplify this calculation here, this will be your determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix. Here I've got two examples involving calculating the determinant of 3 by 3 matrices. So in the first one here, if you want to find the determinant, well, you have to take the top left number, which is 3, and then you're going to come up with a smaller matrix that is made up of the bottom right 4 values. So that matrix is going to be -1, -2, -2, -3. And we're going to find that determinant times the number 3. And then we put a minus, and then we put the value that is the top middle number, -2. So I'm going to use parentheses and put the -2 inside there. And then I'm going to put another matrix here that is made up of 3, 3, -2, -3. So that will make my second determinant. And then plus +1, and then the bottom left matrix here. So that's going to be 3, -1, 3, -2. So each time I find a determinant, I multiply by its coefficient. So the first one is going to be 3. When you multiply -3 times -1, it's +3. And then when you multiply, -2 times -2 is +4. And then you put a minus sign between those two numbers. Close the parentheses. Now the next part here, I have two negative signs. They combine to make a +2, parentheses, and then when you multiply 3 times -3, that is -9, and then you put a minus. 3 times -2 is -6, and then you put that inside parentheses, and then we put a +1, parentheses. 3 times -2 is -6. 3 times -1 is -1. You put a minus sign between those two numbers. Actually, 3 times -1 is -3, and then you close the parentheses. The next part is now to evaluate inside the parentheses and then multiply by the coefficient. So 3 minus 4 is -1 times 3 is -3. And then here we have negative 9 plus 6 is negative 3. Negative 3 times positive 2 is minus 6. And then finally here we have negative 6 plus 3, because there are two minus signs. It's negative 3 times positive 1 is negative 3. So when you add those numbers there, you get negative 12 is the determinant. The next matrix, the first number we're going to start off with is negative 3, the top left number. And our smaller matrix is going to be negative 1, 0, negative 3. And then the next coefficient is going to be minus 2. And the smaller matrix is going to be 0, negative 1, 3, negative 3. And then the final coefficient is negative 3, and the smaller matrix is going to be 0, negative 1, 3, 0. And then so now we're going to find the determinant of the first matrix. So we write negative 3, parentheses. Negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3. And then 0 times negative 1 is just 0, close the parentheses. And then we put the negative 2 there, open parentheses. Negative 3 times 0 is a 0, and then 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. So we put two negative signs, close the parentheses. And then finally we have negative 3, open parentheses, 0 times 0 is 0, and then here we have 3 times negative 1 is minus 3. So we put two negative signs, close parentheses. And then now we just evaluate whatever is inside the parentheses and multiply by the coefficient. 3 times 3 minus 0 is 3, times negative 3 is negative 9. And then 0 minus minus 3 is positive 3. Positive 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. 0 minus minus 3 is 3. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. When you add all of those negative numbers, you get negative 24, and that's the determinant. Check out these independent exercises. There are only 4 of them. And calculate the determinant of each matrix. Some of them are 2 by 2 and some of them are 3 by 3. Once you're finished trying the exercises, the answers are in the description box below. All right, well, that's pretty much it. That's how you find the determinant of a matrix. Now remember, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with someone that'll find this content useful. See you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.